only you can prevent forest fires. Smokey so elegantly puts it in his commercials when he warns people about the dangers of fires. Firefighting has been around for centuries and is important to the people today because of the real danger that fire presents to health and life and property. The history of firefighting is an important aspect of our lives as firefighters in that it gives us the history and teaches us lessons that deal with firefighting itself. With me being a firefighter, it's very important for me to know what I'm doing, and for the rest of us, it's also very important for us to know what we're doing when we roll on a call to save someone's life or their property. Today, I'm going to talk about some of the first firefighters and where they originated, some of the inventions of firefighting, and some of the improvements that have made firefighting a more successful career today. Let's move into some of the first firefighters that came about. Some of the first firefighters actually began pretty much all over the world in every settlement, but some of the first recorded firefighters were in ancient Mesopotamia. These first firefighters were called vigils, according to Steve LeBove. In ancient cities, the houses were so close together that if a little stove fire appeared, it would burn down entire city blocks. In ancient Mesopotamia, there was about 7,000 vigils, and their job literally was just to walk around the city and see if there was fires or crimes. They weren't expected to really put them out, because back then they really couldn't, but they were trying to get just as it started. According to Amanda Green in 1698, Peter Stuyvesant appointed fire wardens to carry out fire codes and to help enforce fire laws. These fire codes were at the time were not as advanced as ours are today. They consisted of put your candles out at midnight or when you go to bed in your house. Benjamin Franklin was credited with founding the Union Fire Company in Philadelphia in 1736 and is one of the original, if not the first, firefighting organizations in North America, according to Philip George. With this start in the United States, we were able to evolve the job into what it is today. Although there were firefighters from early times, how they fought the fire depended a lot on the tools that they carried. Even today, we depend on some of the tools that they used in ancient times. Some of the first firefighting tools was actually a bucket line. And according to Stanley Cutler, they were the first defense against fires. The people would form two lines. The one line going from the water source to the fire was usually made of men that would carry the loaded buckets and put the fire out. The second line was mainly consisted of women and children and the elderly, and they would carry the empty buckets back to the water source. The people would form... Amanda George states that in the 3rd century BC, Celestius of Alexandria, a Greek inventor, designed the first hand-operated fire extinguisher, similar pumps surfaced in 16th century Europe. With these first inventions, firefighters and inventors worked together to build more effective tools and more effective ways to save lives. Early inventions led to the inventions of many things you see firefighters bringing with them today. The first fire engine was developed in the 17th century, and according to Stanley Cutler, it evolved from a tub carried on runners that was hand-pumped, and it evolved into the engines you see driving today. Amanda Green writes, in 1672, Dutch painter John van der Heyden develops the first fire hose made of leather with copper fittings. These hoses now have brass couplings, and they are attached to the trucks, and they have multi-jackets. The current development in firefighting tools have not only made it easier to reduce the impact of fire, but also to reduce the cases of disaster. The history of firefighters, where they originated, some of the first inventions of firefighting, and some of the modifications to previous inventions made them better, are some of the things about firefighting that has made firefighting such a big impact on today's world. Without the history of firefighting, the lives of today and the future would be forever changed. But with the history of yesterday, we are able to keep the public safe from the fires that take their lives. With all this in mind, what are some changes we can make to change the future and to help better firefighting in